Guys, at this point, I think Drew McIntyre should leave WWE. I think he should leave WWE because Triple H is just burying this dude. He's ruining this guy. He's having him losing matches, making him look dumb. Bro, this starts off when he won the Money in the Bank. He goes out there to attack Seth Rollins, and CM Punk costs him the fucking opportunity, right? You could have just had CM Punk way in the back, Drew McIntyre win the world title, Seth get his rematch, and we get Drew and Punk for the world title. Now, in my opinion, that would be a lot better because Seth was going to have a feud with Bronson Reed. So, there you go. Anyways, with the book that Drew McIntyre has been dealing with for the past 3 years, ever since he lost the Clash of Champions, like people say he was going to win or whatever, like I knew Roman Reigns was going to retain. Like Roman was going to hold that title for a while. It just wasn't surprising to me. Excuse me, that Roman Reigns was going to retain, right? But here's the problem, right? You put him in an Intercontinental Championship match at WrestleMania, right? Gunther, who sucks, has one of the worst moves of all time. Boring on the mic. You can't at least give Drew McIntyre an Intercontinental Championship ring. Now, people want Sheamus to win, to be Grand Slam champion. In my opinion, Drew McIntyre should have won it, so he could at least get to the main event and he could get some wins, some victories. And if Gunther beats him for the title of SummerSlam, then go ahead. I don't care. But, Drew McIntyre was going to hold the title for that long. But here's the problem, right? Then we go fast forward. He won the world title. He takes a selfie and CM Punk goes and attacks him, right? After Drew talks shit, right? CM Punk attacks him, but instead you can't have CM Punk sit down somewhere and he can win the world title. You feel me? If Damian Priest wanted to cash in, I would have just had Drew McIntyre beat Damian Priest. And here's the thing. Damian Priest just wasn't a choice to win that world title. It just wasn't there yet. You feel me? I don't know. I just feel like Drew McIntyre should have won that shit and hold it to SummerSlam. Maybe CM Punk can win it. Seth can win it back. Hey, you could have Damian re-win the Money in the Bank or something, and he could cash it in. You feel me? But here's the problem. You're burying Drew McIntyre. You're making him look stupid by having him lose and lose and lose, right? This guy's funny as hell in the mic. Like, dude, you gotta look at his funny moments. You gotta look up his funny moments. You tell me if Drew McIntyre is the guy to be world champion. It should be the face. But y'all don't understand. Not every wrestler, I understand not everybody needs to be strong or big or whatever. But Drew McIntyre has to look. Like, look at the picture from 2012 and right now and tell me he should be a world champion. What are we doing? You feel me? What the hell are we doing with this dude, right? So since you're going to keep burying this dude, you're going to keep making him lose matches, right? You put him in a meaningless feud with Damian Priest, right? A meaningless feud, right? But he came out and attacked Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, and you have him lose to Jey and Jimmy. I think he lost to Jimmy, right? But Jey beats Drew. Like, Drew should have got the win. And like I said, you're making Drew look weak. You're making Drew come out there and attack people when he lose matches. Like, that's not good. That's not good. Like, Vince won't even dare do him like this. You feel me? Like, what the hell? Yeah, he made him lose the title to Bobby and shit like that. But Drew understood business, right? Here's the problem. Drew McIntyre is being buried. This is one of the persons who should be world champion. This is the only choice who should be world champion. Why are we pushing Cody Rhodes, who's born on the mic? I don't get it. I really don't get the hype about Cody Rhodes. All because he's Dusty's son, right? And I don't know. Triple H doesn't have muscles no more. And like I said, Drew McIntyre looks bigger than Triple H. And Triple H can't stand that. So he has to take the little guys, the smaller guys, and look at them like Papa H. You feel me? And that's stupid. And Drew McIntyre, the best decision, the best choice for Drew McIntyre is to leave WWE. Get your release contracts in order. Get your release and leave, man. If you go to AEW or TNA, it doesn't matter. You can go, listen. I think AEW is the move. AEW is the move. You put Drew McIntyre in that shit, he cuts his promos and talk his shit. Yeah, he could bring, I don't know, viewers or whatever, all the other shit, but people can be interested into that. You definitely have to invest in Drew McIntyre. If I was Tony Khan, man, I would be talking to Drew McIntyre right now. You gotta make the call, man, because Triple H is not gonna make him world champion. So either you gotta be Samoan or you gotta have blonde hair and be a small guy to be world champion. You just gotta be boring to be world champion. And Drew McIntyre worked out for the past 10 years, right? He came a long way. And what the hell are we doing here? What are we doing here? It's not like Drew McIntyre never became world champion. Vince understood he's the guy. And Vince was smart. And he had a vision to understand this is the guy. And I'm telling you, this is the guy. Because I'm really looking at him and he's funny as hell on the mic. At first, I ain't gonna lie. At first, I didn't think Drew McIntyre was the guy. You feel me? But I know he got stronger. You know, he looked different. You feel me? You gotta go to the gym and work out. You feel me? To get better, you gotta look strong. I get all that. But it was just still boring at the same time. But him cutting these funny promos, it's hilarious, yo. It's hilarious. And this is the guy, and I guess Vince was right the whole time. And Triple H, his egotistic ass just doesn't want to book Drew McIntyre because thinks he knows everything. And he can't stand how Drew McIntyre looks. Like I said, he looks bigger than Triple H. Triple H is old. He doesn't have the muscles. He has a flat stomach. You feel me? So you get what I mean, right? So I feel like Drew McIntyre should get his release, go to TNA or AEW because he's 40 years old. He's 40 years old. You're wasting Drew McIntyre's time. You're wasting the last 3 years of Drew McIntyre's time, of his life. And in the next 5 years, if he keeps staying and keep getting jobbed out, it's to the point where he's gonna retire and probably get released. So it's best if Drew McIntyre gets his release, like, I don't know when. I don't give a shit by WrestleMania season, but I expect him to get. I expect Drew McIntyre to cut a promo on Triple H. That's what needs to happen. SmackDown, Drew McIntyre calls out Triple H. You know what? Yeah, he goes off at Cody and the rest, right? He says, I moved on from the Cody Rhodes shit. I want to call out the boss. You out there in the suit with the trunks on. I want you to come out to this ring. Triple H. You want to play these games? You want to play games? You know, your father-in-law knew I was the guy. You were jealous of his choices, and you were mad, and you know damn well you're not the visionary like he is. Are you mad because I might have had sex with Stephanie? Do that shit. And Triple H comes out there angry, furious, you know what I'm saying? And have them go off, right? And Drew McIntyre just, I don't know. He just says, I quit. He just quits and leaves the WWE. He cuts a promo on social media. He says, I talked to Tony Khan, blah, blah, blah. He just cuts a promo and says, yo, I'm out. I'm going to this company or that company. Now, that's the way you do it. You feel me? That's the only way you do it for Drew McIntyre. Because at this point, Triple H is fucking up everything. He's not booking any shows. You feel me? World champions are not wrestling every week. And it's to the point where Drew McIntyre might be world champion and he may not wrestle. He should say this. What? You're going to put the world title on me and I'm not going to wrestle every week? You're going to give me a part-time schedule? Because you're doing the same with Cody. You're doing the same with Gunther. Shit. So you know what? I quit. You feel me? That's the way you do it. Now, is that a good decision? Is that a good booking decision? Should WWE do that? I don't know. I just feel like Drew McIntyre should just walk out. He could just walk out and say nothing. You could say Drew McIntyre walks out of WWE and eventually gets released. Because I'm telling you right now, Triple H is not going to make a world champion if you keep him in his company. You're going to keep burying this dude. It's to the point he might lose to Sami Zayn. What? Sami Zayn's going to win the world title and Drew McIntyre's going to lose twice? Come on, man. I'm not falling for that shit. Drew McIntyre needs to leave WWE. He needs to go somewhere else. He needs to go somewhere else because if he wants to wrestle for a while, that's up to Drew. He could just give up, say, shit, fuck this. He might have got his money already. You feel me? He could just retire if he wanted to. You feel me? But Drew McIntyre, he's only 40. He's not that old yet. Like, he could still go for another 10 years. Maybe 15. You feel me? I feel like Drew McIntyre can still go for 10 years. And if he can still go for that long, he should make a decision. It's what's best for him. It's best for Drew McIntyre. Really. If I was Drew, I would have moved on. I would have went to talk to Tony Khan, because Tony Khan pays a lot of money, if I'm correct. I would have said, hey, go, let me do my shit. You feel me? I would have just went to AEW, called it a day. I'm not begging, I'm demanding Drew McIntyre to get his release from WWE, just walk out of WWE, tell Triple H to go kiss his ass. You're mad because you probably think I was having sex with your wife. So you know what? I quit. And look at you. You're not the same guy as you were. You just have a fat stomach. Just go off on him and leave the company. Then in AEW, you know he's going to talk his shit in AEW. Drew McIntyre needs to leave WWE. This guy should be a world champion. You guys are wasting his time.